It's a flyweight showdown at the Apex. Dan Tom here with MMA Junkie to help you break down the main event for UFC on ESPN 46 between Kai Kara-France and Amir Albazi. Albazi, who since his lone defeat outside the UFC to UFC vet Jose Shorty Torres, has won 5 straight, 4 of which coming in the UFC, earning him a top 10 ranking. Now he's finally getting his shot at some top 5 blood when he meets Kara-France. Of course, we have not seen Kara-France since his failed attempt at an interim title against current champ Brandon Moreno, where Kai Kara-France actually was in a very competitive fight. For those who forget, unfortunately fell short in the 3rd round. That was back at UFC 277. Both men will have a chance to really make their mark with a rare flyweight showcase from the UFC this Saturday. At the time of this video, the odds makers and public are still slightly siding with Kai Kara-France in your neighborhood of -115, despite opening at a near 2-1 favorite, where money coming in on Albazi has him as the slight underdog. We're practically at pick'em prices when he is -105. Now, regardless of the confidence of any Albazi backers out there, I do feel like this fight should be closer to a pick'em odds from my perspective. Flyweight fights are very competitive because everyone in that division is so talented and technical and well-rounded. You often have closely contested affairs, competitive ones that can go many different ways in the scorecards. However, the small cage and both of these fighters' kind of action-based styles, I think kind of portends to a finish perhaps. If we could see Kai Kara-France kind of do what he did against Askar Askarov, and he is able to use his underrated wrestling, which he and a lot of the City Kickboxing crew, should be acknowledged, have done some real good improvements on their wrestling, not just the strikers and the strategists that they're associated with. If Kara-France can remind the masses and pull away down the later rounds, I think that is his best path to victory. Perhaps a late stoppage. Maybe if it goes to the scorecards, I see perhaps him being the one it favors. Whereas Albazi, we haven't seen him in later rounds. This guy is a finisher. He's one of the few flyweights with extra large gloves in his hands. He can really grapple. I think the small cage is going to favor his style a little more, which is why I'm ever so slightly siding with the fighter who fights in my backyard of Las Vegas here. But also in Las Vegas training with striking coaches like Dewey Cooper, who have improved his hands. That uppercut finish, his last fight, was no accident. Albazi's got a mean uppercut, mean right-sided strikes. We'll see if he works the left side a little and the body a little more, considering who his opponent is. But for more tactics as far as that goes, as well as stats on each fighter, check out my in-depth breakdown at MMAJunkie.com, where you can find results this weekend. But the pick here is Albazi inside the distance.